That would be funny as shit. You should put some humor in your campaign, brother. Some real raw humor, like shock jock humor. You're too scared to do that, though. You're a politician.
No, we're creating content all the time.
You gotta really love niggas. You can't act like you love niggas.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, Jamil. If you love niggas for real, you would talk shit to them. You feel me? Like, you won't be scared to talk shit to them. They sit there basically like, nigga, what you taking this shit for real? Like, what are your feelings, nigga? Like, what's your problem? You feel me?
You sound like a nigga.
Yeah, I can be anything you want me to be. Sometimes I sound like a you have.
I'm saying I do a lot of comedy. I mean, I'm filming myself 18 hours a day and putting it on 10 different YouTubes.
Provocative content, John.
It's pretty provocative.
Hours. No, what's provocative, John, is you go into the hood, nigga, and playing basketball with the hood niggas and call them a bunch of niggas and dogging them and dunking all on them.
Well, I'm running against La Hood. His name is Darren La Hood.
Okay. You're getting close. Okay. That's what I'm talking. What I'm saying, John, is okay. You're a congressman, so you're a people person. So you got to be able to smile with Karen and have potato salad with raisins, and then step over a few blocks down the street and motherfucker shake a tail feather with Keisha and them. You feel me?
I feel you.
All right, guys. So you need me. You need this. But anyway, you know you can always call me for advice, my nigga. So I'm gonna need advice when you're in that office. Some nigga advice, some brotherly love.
Well, I'll be sure to look up the Love Hard podcast on Spotify.
Yeah. Look that up or look up Love Hard Network, because you know I am a synergy specialist. I'm a consultant. So who's starting the family?
Me and Pennywise.
Oh shit, Pennywise! Congratulations.
She recently broke up with her Michelin Ashkenazi boyfriend.
Wait, dude, you don't want no round pussy.
Have you seen how hot she is?
Yeah, but I don't give a fuck how hot she is, John. Don't do it.
It's not rebound pussy. She's a real woman.
John,
she wants to free Palestine, and together we're gonna free the world.
John, just call me the back end, dude. Like, if you're being serious right now, like, okay, fuck that. I love you, John. You know I do.
I knew it. Lucifer has a thing for John, and he's
very, like, being with a liar, because it's very, you don't know what you're gonna get, right? You never know. It's so inconsistent. It's so inconsistent, dog. And it's fun. It's really fun. So, I really, you know what the hell? Make sure you guys just, like, videotape your escapades, your love. I think if you put it on the Congressman in Love on YouTube, I think that is television
Can you
work.
sing, Lucifer?
Baby, I can do anything. Okay. She's almost a singing song. Ain't this some shit?
Yeah, sing for us, please.
Oh no, not right now.
No, come on.
It's too early in the evening. I don't sing. I only sing around angelical hours around 3 a.m. 3 to 6 a.m. That's when my wings come out, my fangs. But this has been, what book were you reading? It says, come read a book for me.
I wanted someone to read for me, actually.
Did you get them to read for you?
Yeah, someone did.
Oh, okay.
John will read for you.
I got some Ruby for you, baby.
Oh, yeah, John loves to read.
Oh, I love poetry. Oh my god.
Okay, I got
Have you
it.
checked
Here we go.
Arabic poetry?
I got it.
So good.
I got a poem.
Okay, go ahead.
Hickory Dickory Dock. No, not that one. There was an old lady who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. I call bullshit.
There once was a woman from Thrace whose corset was too tight to lace. Her mother said there's something in your stomach that didn't come through your face.
Little Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. At least that's what those freaks told y'all. We should have like a poetry time where we're just doing nasty, naughty, like adult poetry with a kitty, like nursery rhymes. Adult nursery rhymes.
Hi,
There once was a vampire named Mabel, whose periods were eerily stable. Thus, every full moon, she'd get out a spoon and drink herself under the table.
I like that one. I like that. Yeah, we should get even gorier, more gory with it.
Party last night. I want to hear quickly.
How about this one?
Party was great.
There was
Go
a
ahead.
ghetto. A lot of people adore a witch, but shout out to Trump January 6th. How about that?
That's
Adore a witch, Trump in
beautiful.
January. What happened January 6th?
Some retarded white people.
Oh, you talking about?
Look at your PTR, right? Is that it?
Did they storm the Capitol? Was that January 6th? They stormed the Capitol. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was.
And but
Shout out to them for that.
Shout out. Yeah, exactly. Shout out to those independent individuals who decided to do what they wanted to do, and now it's all good.
Does anyone have a limerick on that? Because do you remember the photo of that little old lady and she's holding the American flag in the middle of the Capitol with all this like craziness happening? Hold on, I have to find it.
You know what? Let me ask y'all a question real quick. Remember this? Remember when they said a plane hit the Pentagon? How many people in here believe that?
What, the plane hit the Pentagon?
Yeah.
They showed where it hit the building. That's what they said.
It was a
plane
missile.
fucking hit the
It was
Pentagon.
a
That was
missile.
not a fucking plane that hit the Pentagon. The fuck?
They
It
did
was a
show.
missile. It was a
Goddamn
missile.
Okay.
That's right, dude.
So plane, missiles, it's all the same shit.
No.
What's it?
It completely deconstructs the actual narrative for the American psyop that they have provided us here in the United States.
Exactly.
Wait, continue, Stu. What do you mean? What you say?
I thought it was the walls that they like built in the explosive.
That's in the World Trade Center. That was all done by actual Mossad and the American CIA, who was CIA operatives and Mossad.
So wait, the CIA and the Mossad.
John.
Oh, John's another patrilineal.
John.
It's the Wahhabis. It's all the Wahhabis.
John.
Well, I'm good on Yali's good side right now. I don't want to upset her anymore. She's a very easily agitated young woman. I know she's for male castration, so I don't want to upset her.
Damn, she's for male castration.
Chemical castration.
Holy shit, bro.
No, I think I said male birth control.
Male birth.
Yeah, which would be
like neutering.
no. So they would be given a dose of estrogen, and it would be a chemical, quote unquote, castration. But it's not a permanent one. It's sort of like what they do now anyway. If you add extra hormones to prevent pregnancy, men can do the same. But John is horrified by this.
We add extra hormones to prevent pregnancy.
Yeah, that's what birth control is.
Well, what's a couple extra hormones gonna do?
You sound so sad when you say that, Issa.
No, I'm sick of bags. I hate bags.
I'm so sad. It's not the only thing you have in common.
What?
Why do you hate fags? Because they're always performing.
Why do I hate fags?
Abraham hates fags. I don't know.
Lucy, you try dating a bag and then let me know.
Oh my God.
What happened?
I
Lisa?
dated a bunch of
Oh,
them.
awful.
How many fags have you dated?
too many.
They're not awful. You're
But how do you know you're not projecting and it's a you problem?
He's just playing. He's just.
Oh, it's 150% a me problem too.
Well,
Because
it's
I'm
always-
also full because I'm a fag.
See, that's self-hatred. That's what it is.
No, when I say all fags are awful, I'm including myself.
Right, but awful. But you know what?
This is not bigotry. It is
That
just observational.
But you know what? I
Definitional.
think, Issa, you're right, Issa. And I would like to say that I commend you on I owe you guys, all of you, the whole LGBTQ community. Everyone should get awards for performing arts. You guys are actually.
That's me.
You are drama queens. I fucking love it. This shit is hilarious. You will read a bitch in a minute and cry about it. And then stab a nigga later on.
The FBI and police rounding up all the criminals.
I knew it was happening. I told everybody it was gonna happen. I had already called this like 2 years ago. Because we need to clean up. We have to trim the fat. The fat has to be trimmed, right? The corruption, the performance is a coming cue. The psyops have been working, right? So killing is kind of like everybody kills somebody. It's no big deal, right? To kill a motherfucker, still an act.
Bitch, you're gonna have to run myself. If you want to calculate the tangible book value, Rico, what do? I don't know. You have to remove from the stockholders
slavery, right? And they have gone on to procreate with more blacks, such that they might have darker skin than white people. And white people go on to procreate with whites, keep their lighter skin. And it's still, there's going to be two families that are going to converge.
And of course, I'm just speaking from an individualistic point of view. I want to make it home at the end of the night. I'm not arguing with the police. You dig? Take the ID, do the background check if you have to, windmilling and marching in the streets because, another black man or a black woman statistic, and then we see the police body cam, and y'all are combative and argumentative when all you had to do was just hand over your ID. It's not about being defeatist. It's not about bowing down. And let's really get to the nitty-gritty. Elect better political officials. You want police reform, elect better politicians, and demand tangibles. Demand police reform. We vote blue no matter who in these liberal, urban, big cities, and it's your politicians that you vote for that enable these police. Elect better politicians. These politicians don't give a fuck about it. They protect the cops, right? We see what happens if one of us gets shot or beat in the street. What happens? They barely get convictions. They barely serve time in jail. It all goes back up to the top. So never mind what black people are supposed to do. Hold your politicians accountable. How about that?
So sometimes, and I agree with comply, but sometimes it can go further than you just comply. So if you are obeying all the laws and a policeman pull you over, you have the right to ask, why am I being pulled over?
You're right, I agree.
That can often, and I've seen it, turn into something else. I'll tell you in a minute. License and registration. You hand them the license and registration, and you're still asking, okay, well, why did you stop me, officer? Did I do something? I'll tell you in a minute. That right there tells what is the harm in the officer saying, I pulled you over because you blew the stop sign? Or, and then it goes further. Do you mind stepping out of the car? Why am I stepping out? Now, you're saying comply, but at some point, there's a violation to where you haven't told me why I'm being stopped. Then you asking me to get out of my vehicle. Now I am feeling threatened for my safety because it can go left really fast. You haven't even announced what the offense is. And so I've seen this over and over and over again, even under someone who has handed the license. And it's basically, to me, it just seems like, a slave patrol to where now I have to tell you, oh, well, where are you headed? Where were you coming from? If I got a damn ticket, give me the ticket. Don't ask me where am I coming from, where am I going? What business is it of yours if I did a violation, a traffic violation? And that's where I understand the brother saying, do you give away your rights? Or basically what he said. Now,
I want to give an example. I was arrested, right? I was arrested one day. I had some illegal shit in my car, right? And the police, confiscated the illegal stuff that I had in my car. So when I got to the judge, my lawyer, right? Now they allegedly pulled me over for a traffic stop. These are narcotics undercover police that just so happened to pull me over for some bullshit and found some shit, but it was allegedly a traffic violation. So my lawyer to the judge said, Your Honor, our president, and it was Obama at the time, he said, our president passed a law that says that once there is a traffic stop for a traffic violation, that is the extent of a police officer's investigation. Like, there can be no further, there's no search and seizures, there's none of that, right? A traffic violation is a traffic violation. That is it. You cannot go further. You can't say, I smell weed. I can't do none of that shit. If you pull me over for a taillight, illegal turn, whatever the traffic violation is, that is it. And I walked away scot-free by getting caught with 106 fraudulent credit cards in my car. Scot-free, I walked away because they violated my right for searches and seizures.
Thank you, Thug. Hold on. I think Mike Allen was trying to jump in there.
Do you think him? He had 106 stolen credit cards in his car. What the fuck?
No. Excuse me. They were not stolen.
Y'all can't do this slow.
Hold on. They were not stolen credit
That makes it
cards.
better. They weren't stolen. They were fake. That makes it so much better.
They were fraudulent. That's it. They were just fraudulent.
That's so much better.
They're not stolen, but they were not stolen.
Yeah. You're right. That makes it so much less criminal.
So,
No,
100%
it doesn't make it
less criminal.
It doesn't make it less criminal, but there are elements to a crime when you're being charged. If you charge me with murder, you have to prove intent. If you charge me with stealing,
you got away with the
hold on.
crime.
If you charge me with stealing, you have to prove that I stole it. So it's not stolen. It's not stolen.
And y'all are missing.
So why were there 106 fraudulent credit cards in your car?
Why would they? Okay,
hold on. We're not.
That was my business why. That's my business why. I was giving the account about what the law entails as far as traffic violations and police stopping people. But you're so much derailed on. Y'all just really.
Listen, the Black King said he wasn't criminalized and didn't go to jail. Some of y'all should be happy about this. He beat the dog.
Yay! The criminal got away. Yay.
Okay, so we're not gonna interrogate him over his credit cards. If y'all want to know,
I didn't get away because I wasn't committing a crime. The police violated my rights, and the judge, according to my lawyer, right, saw that my rights were violated, and I walked away scot-free.
You weren't committing a crime with 106 fraudulent credit cards?
Okay, watch this. Let's just say it wasn't credit card. Let's say if it was a gun in my car, right? A gun that was purchased legally but wasn't legally registered, right? Let's say it was purchased legally but wasn't legally registered, and I got pulled over with that gun. They still violated my rights, and I would have walked away scot-free.
There it is, people. The through line of the conversation tonight. His rights were violated. He walked away. The system worked. Go ahead, Micah.
It did not work. He had fraudulent credit cards. Jesus Christ. He failed us.
Bella, the judge said his rights were violated.
And he's
free.
So move along. Right after he violated the law. Yes.
But the judge said...
I hear you. I know. I get the technicality. He should have still probably gone to jail.
What crime did I commit by having... forges. What crime?
You had fraudulent cards. That was the crime.
We're gonna move on. Okay, let's go to Mike Allen. Go ahead.
Yes, I'll be quick here. I think that first of all, Thug, I'll just address you real quick. I don't know if you heard about the recent story where the lady was pulled over for a traffic violation, and she was going all crazy, and they found 2 dead kids wrapped in garbage bags in her trunk. So they pulled her over, and then for a traffic violation, and then ended up finding dead children in her trunk. Are you saying like,
no, she wasn't going
they're really
crazy.
allowed to do a traffic stop?
No, she wasn't going crazy. She did not go crazy. She was acting evasive, but she wasn't going crazy.
She had two dead
Hold
children.
on.
Let me
I
explain
think she
the
was
law
past
to you.
crazy. I think she was past
No,
crazy.
no.
They said the bitch killed two. They said
No,
the
no,
bitch
that's not
killed
what
two
I'm saying.
kids.
Let me
Yeah,
She was
explain.
beyond crazy.
Hold on.
Let me
hold on.
explain the law.
That's what
Let
I'm
me
saying.
explain.
Wait,
Let me explain.
one mic on truth. One mic on truth.
Hold on.
What
What
mic
I'm saying.
on truth?
Thank you. What I'm saying is the way he made it like that she was going like acting like a lunatic when they pulled her over. She wasn't. She was very calm. She acted like she was trying to portray herself as being normal, but it was off. That's all I meant when he said she was going crazy. She was acting crazy. She wasn't.
Okay, so here is the law to that, right? Since you said, what am I supposed to think about her having two dead children in the trunk? So their search and seizures couples with a reasonable suspicion. See, there is where the law becomes particular. If the police have a reasonable suspicion to detain you, then they can search a vehicle. Now, that reasonable suspicion may have been something that triggered them to say, ma'am, step out of your vehicle, right? They have to explain that. All of this goes to court, right? Court, lawyers, prosecutors, they all have to explain the case and say why they searched this woman's vehicle. So when I went to, in my instance, when I went to court and they explained why they searched the vehicle, they had no probable cause. So now when they go to court and they explain this woman been finding two babies in a car, they have to explain what their probable cause was. And the probable cause found those babies in that seat, thank God, and they had a decent burial. And I'm done speaking.
Okay.
And just really quick to
Hold on.
I think to everybody.
Wait. I want to see if Mike Allen had a chance to land, and then we'll go to you, E. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, no. I only got one sentence. I mean, look, I was mentioning Doug's thing. If you get pulled over, whatever, okay with that. So Trap's not up here anymore, but I think Trap made a good point when we were talking about lowering the probability of something bad happening. Nothing good is going to come of not complying. It's always going to end bad for the person other than the cops. And what I think is not getting mentioned here is, look, if the cop asks you to identify yourself and you say no, the only people that say no are people that have shit to hide. If a cop's going to search my car at any point in time, they're going to waste their fucking time. Go ahead, cop. You're about to waste fucking 20 minutes searching my fucking car, you dumb fuck. Go ahead. You want to fucking run my ID? Go ahead. The only people that don't do that shit, and you know what it always ends up happening? They have warrants. They have other shit going on, and they don't want to be found out. They have a suspended license. They shouldn't be driving in the first place. There's no reason other than you're trying to hide something when you say no to a police officer for anything. And I'll land right here with this. My next door neighbor's a cop. Now, he used to do he's older, so he does forensic accounting stuff, so he's got a desk job, but he used to be a patrol guy, whatever. He told me this. He goes, the two most dangerous calls a cop can respond to are domestic violence, because everyone at the domestic disturbance is in a bad mood, and none of them want the cop to be there. And the second most dangerous one is traffic stops. When that cop walks up to your car, they are walking in blind. They have no fucking clue what is about to happen to them. And you got to think about that for a second. Imagine if some guy, like, say you get a minor fender bender, and you get out of your car to check your damage, and the other guy doesn't want to get out of his car. So you got to walk up to his window to be like, hey man, we got to exchange information. You know how fucking terrifying that would kind of be? You're like, yo, who the fuck is this guy? And by the way, the lady that mentioned that, I would say this to you. Every video I've ever seen, the first thing the cop says is, do you know why I stopped you? And they explain to them, I stopped you for this. Every time. That's like protocol. Do you know why I stopped you? You ran a stop sign. You have a taillight out. You were speeding. You were this. They tell you, now I need your license and registration. The reason they need their license and registration is to make sure they are willing or capable of driving a car with other people being on the road with them. So not complying with the police officer is the worst decision you could possibly make. They don't want to be there just as much as you don't want to be there. They don't just pull people over for the fuck of it. They pull people over for a reason, and they want to see who it is. Bam. Here you go, cop. Bam. Bye. You're wasting your fucking dealing with me. Sorry, I sped. Give me my ticket. Most of the time, when you're nice to them, they let you off with a warning.
Thanks,
Now you're gonna say,
Can I speak? Because can I speak to what he's saying?
Really quickly, Truth. I was next in the queue. I do want to hear what you got to say. I just wanted to respond really quick. I do feel like it did have to do with the reason it got dismissed is because there is a due process to things and there is a proper protocol that's supposed to be followed. So there's one thing, like I can't speak to whether he's right or wrong for what his situation was, but I can speak to the fact that I absolutely agree with it getting dismissed if the evidence was wrongfully obtained. There's all types of things that people do that the cops swear to literally uphold justice, which means that when they go, I would have no issue with compliance, and I don't have an issue with compliance, which I've said multiple times. What I don't think is that people should absolutely have to comply when it's not appropriate. You should not just have to get your property searched or seized. You should not have to speak, and there's all types of reasons why these rights are why they came up with in the first place. For example, the Fifth Amendment rights probably one of your most important rights because anything you say can and will be used against you. Something like 10 to 15% of people who are actually convicted of criminal cases actually were not even guilty in the first place. They just take plea deals because they're scared of what's going to happen if it does go to trial and they're wrongfully accused. So whether they're guilty or not, you got people who take plea deals all the time, and it's absolutely in their best interest to exercise their rights. And in fact, if you have an attorney, that's the whole purpose of an attorney's job is for you to help you exercise your rights to the fullest extent. And they're going to tell you all of those same things. They're going to tell you don't answer any questions. They're going to tell you that, generally be compliant, but, if it's not in your best interest, don't. In that same regard, yes, you should be generally compliant with police officers, but at the same time, yeah, you do have rights. So no, I don't think that. And to your point, Mike, when you're saying, do you understand how scary their job is? It seems like they don't understand how scary their job is because you know what? As a police officer, that's what you sign up for. You're dealing with violent crime. You're dealing with all types of shit. That doesn't give you a right to violate people's rights any more than if I sign up to go to Afghanistan, I don't get to go shoot civilians just because I'm scared that what if they got a bomb strapped to their chest? That's what you sign up for. You sign up for a very specific job, a difficult job that you have to be properly equipped for. And if you're not properly equipped for it, that doesn't mean that you get to break protocol, violate citizens' rights because you're scared. So I just don't think that that's a logical argument.
Thank you. Hold on. Truth, I know you wanted to go after Truth. We're going to pass the mic around to some of the new speakers. Frank B's on the stage if he wants to speak. Welcome Gildas to the stage. Black Girl, Concrete is back. So go ahead.
So basically, I was going to say the same thing he was saying. I don't know what videos Mike has been watching, but the videos that I have seen and the life experience that I have, they don't always ask you, do you know why I stopped you? They come up, license and registration. Do you have license and registration? So I guess it depends on what channel or station you're tuned into. The other thing is, you ask, well, why wouldn't I want someone, why wouldn't I just let them search or whatever, comply? Because I don't have to, is my answer. Even if I'm doing nothing, I don't have to agree for them to search. I don't have to step out my vehicle. I don't have to, if I'm in the passenger side, present an ID. For what? I am the passenger. You stop the driver. 4 different reasons why he stopped her after the first reason. And then when the other police officer showed up, he lied. Outright operative. I have the right not to cooperate with their line of questioning. I have the right to exercise my right not to speak at all. And that's just
hogwash. Is it a figment of people's imagination or a bigger issue than I realized? 89% of the vote is absolutely real. If you do not see the poll at the top, that just means you need to update your Clubhouse app. So Frank B is here, Black Girl is here, Gildas is here. Would either one of you like to speak on this topic before we go to someone else?
Don't forget about concrete.
Concrete, yep, concrete. Black Girl, Gildas.
I'm
okay.
Good, thank you.
Oh, concrete's good. Frank B, go ahead, sir.
Nah, I would just really like, well, yeah, racial profiling is definitely real. To those who spoke earlier, the gentleman who spoke earlier, is basically saying, yeah, when police pull you over, do whatever they tell you, no matter what it is. If it's just a traffic infraction, he tells you to get out of the car, get out your car, stand on one leg, walk like a dog. You should do it. It's ridiculous because, let's say, for instance, Mr. Mike, you were going home. You were speeding by 10 miles over speed limit. I pulled you over. Your license, your place on your car is accurate. Ask you for your license, registration is accurate. But for some odd reason, I want to say I smell weed in your car. I know you ain't smoking no weed. You still gonna get out your car and feel like you this is due process, or I'm actually policing the situation as an officer. No. And the thing that it seems like when I just hear you speak, and I guess you have your own opinion depending on where you're from, where you are. But for most of us, it's not the same reality. And when I hear people like, I don't want to say people like you, but when I hear the statements that you make, it helps me understand that you don't either understand the reality that we're speaking from, or you don't care. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Frank B. The stage is open. I think we'll go popcorn style. I don't have a cue, but please don't speak over each other. And so, yeah, popcorn style. Whoever wants to take the mic next.
New York, I forgot to say one thing. I just wanted to.
Yeah, go ahead, Tree.
Thank you. It slipped my mind at first. I was riding through Virginia, a town in Virginia, and I got pulled over was because I fit the description of the registered owner of the vehicle. I will never forget it. I said, "Excuse me." I said, "Excuse me." He said, "The reason why I pulled you over is because you fit the description of the registered owner of the vehicle." I said, "Give me your badge and your name." I said, "This is nothing but product that we're trying to talk, that we're explaining to people. You can comply all you want, but when someone is profiling you, they will make up stupid."
That type of cop encounter, and I'm not suggesting you did this, Drew, but for me, if I had that type of cop encounter and I recognize I'm being racially profiled by a very problematic and seemingly racist cop, I'm going to do everything I can to make this encounter as short as possible. I'm not going to argue with him. I'm not going to debate laws. Run my place, run my ID, and let me go the fuck home. If possible, you did?
Well, exactly. And
why, really quick.
Exactly. And
really quick.
Hold on. I said the reason why I fit the description of the registered owner is because I am the registered owner. And he just looked at me and he handed me back my shit and he got in his car and I pulled off. It made no sense.
Look. And Ryan, real quick, I just wanted to say, well, from a general perspective, like a pragmatic perspective, I do agree. Like, if I was in fear for my life, I'm going to prioritize my life over my rights, But at the same time, I do want to just make an important psychological point that pertains to positive reinforcement. When a cop is violating your rights and you allow them to continue to do that, you are positively reinforcing that. So you don't know that that's necessarily going to protect you by complying. Sometimes the only thing that is actually stopping a cop from continuing to do something that could be harmful to you is the fact that now he's like, I've encountered somebody who does know their rights, and this happens all the time, where a cop is not able to manipulate somebody because then you say, okay, no, I know it's my First Amendment right to record. I know it's my Fourth Amendment right not to be searched. And I know it's my Fifth Amendment right not to have to answer any of your questions. So sometimes that actually is the case because, you know, at the end of the day, cops don't want to go to jail too. They don't want to lose their jobs. They don't want to get suspended, you know, and sometimes the only people who really are going to hold them accountable is people who do know their rights or people who do have a lawyer or people who will file a complaint. You know, when they see that you're the type of citizen who is not going to let them violate their rights, that might be the only thing that actually does hold them accountable. So while I do state that sometimes compliance could very much so save your life in a certain situation like that, it also could be the positive reinforcement that you're providing to them to violate your rights, because essentially by definition you are reinforcing that behavior of them violating your rights, and I think that could be problematic.
I agree, E. Thank you for that.
I've been pulled over before because I have limit.
Wait, we didn't hear you. You went out. You've been pulled over because why?
Her tint was too dark.
Hold on.
Limo tint.
Why every time I ask her something, she don't respond?
She said limo tint. Her tint was too dark.
Thank you, white man, for answering. Go ahead, Mike.
So I wanted to respond to a couple of things people said. I mean, first of all, truth. Yeah, that was fucked up. That why that cop pulled you over. But I will say this: if a cop pulled me over and they're like, "Hey, you fit the description of the person that owns this car," I'd be like, "Yeah, sweet, your system works." And even you said he fucking looked like an idiot, handed you your shit back, and you were on your way. Yeah, I mean, that's a dumbass cop. I'd be like, "Yeah, sweet, dude." So yeah, do for the description, awesome. And Frank B, I mean, if they pull me over and they say they smell weed, they're like, "Hey, step out of your car, I smell weed," and I know I don't have any weed in the car, I wouldn't be like, "Bro, what do you mean you smell weed, bro? I don't fucking have any weed." I would get out of the car and let the guy waste his fucking time searching my fucking car.
Right.
I don't understand any of this.
Well, here's another.
We're gonna let Mike Allen land. Okay, we're gonna respect all speakers.
It's all good. I like interjections. Go ahead, Doug. But I appreciate it.
I don't. So go ahead and land, please.
It's your land. It's your room. I land. Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, so here's another example without using the police, right? On my job, right? You got different tradesmen, right? Do various different. These particular ones were the plumbers. Most the plumbing positions are, you know, held by white men, right? Most of them, right? You have a few blacks in there, but on this day, me and my coworker, two black men, went into a storeroom. Now, I always wear my my agency's ID lanyard around my neck, which is a requirement. These two plumbers, they don't do it, right? Because they're white. None of the white men usually adorn their cells with the lanyard so that they can be identified as employees. So we were entering the storeroom and we were using the key at the door. These two white plumbers were looking at, and I'm observing them looking at each other and then looking at us, and then asked my coworker, because he had the key, he says, "Excuse me, does anybody know you're going in there?" So I looked at him and was like, "The fuck you mean, do anybody know that we're going in here? Like, this is a storeroom that is frequented by employees, right?" But the fact that he asked us, "Does anybody know that we're going in here?" entailed that he was surveying us because we were black, as if we didn't have authority to go in there without some white man overseeing us, right? So I went off on him. I called him everything in the book you could name: white, mayonnaise, donkey, everything, you name it. I called him it, right? I called him he's a racist piece of shit. You know, you should fuck yourself with a fucking... I just did everything I could think of to just make him want to fight. Talked about his mother, his kids, everything. I just wanted to say anything. He's like, "I apologize." Nah, fuck your apology, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you dead ass in your thinking, we didn't have a right to be there. And that only right came in your mind because we were black. That's the profiling right there. Doesn't have to be police. There are people who are not in law enforcement that carry these stigmas about black people. And they carry them with our children too. They carry them with our children. And we sit here and illusion ourselves into believing that the world is somehow going to be different against us, right? It's not. And I don't carry myself believing that it is. And I'm done.
Well, I would respond to that.
Go ahead.
I would respond to that real quick, Thug, by saying, yeah, I mean, that's, you know, again, there are racist pieces of shits in this world. And it's time for us good people to start making some fucking noise. You know, it shouldn't, I'll say this, preface it, but I'm going to get to your point. It shouldn't be, you know, a new cop joins the force and they're showing him around or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, well, that's Jimbo over there. Don't worry about him. He's a racist." No, it should be, "Hey, Jimbo, you're a fucking racist. Get with the program or get the fuck out. Sorry, dude, the South lost. I don't know what to tell you." We need to start making some fucking noise here. But Doug, in that situation, you're probably right. Those people were fucking douchebags. But what I thought, well, I'm not going to tell you how you can do your life, right? If I was in that situation and someone was like, hey, does someone know you're going in there? And I have the right to go in there? I would have looked at the guy and been like, no. Because he'd be like, well, does anyone know you're going in there? I'd be like, no. And I would have walked up in there. Because now that would have forced him to whatever he would have done. And they would have came and been like, well, this guy walked in there. And then he would have looked even more stupid because they'd be like, yeah, Doug is allowed to go in there, so why the fuck are you saying anything? If some dude asked me that, I would have been like, no one knows I'm going in there. And I would have kept going in there because you have the right to go in there. I think that, I look, did he do it because you were black? I don't know. Did he do it because people have been going in there and stealing shit, white or black? Doesn't matter. And he's like, fuck, now I need to make sure that nothing's going in there and getting stolen by either a white plumber or a black plumber. So now he's asking the questions. And your take is, well, he's profiling me because I'm black. I just would have been like, no one knows I'm going in here. And then I would have walked in there because I'm allowed to go in there and just moved on with my day. I think that I get what you guys are saying, right? I'm not saying that racial profiling doesn't exist. People pull people over. Cops are fishing for shit, right? They got quotas and blah, blah. They pull people over in a bad neighborhood hoping they're going to find drugs. They don't need a reason. They just make up a reason to pull them over just so they can get a hold of them and start looking through their car. I get it. This shit happens. I think all NY was saying, or I'm not going to talk for NY, but what, Seneca earlier were saying was that in Trap too, I think Trap made the best point. Trap was like, you lower the probability of something bad happening. They just lower the probability. There's no reason, right? It's never going to end good, ever. Because all they're going to do is be like, oh, fuck, they're going to radio, be like, oh, I'm getting a hard time with this motherfucker. Next thing you know, you got fucking 5 cops there. Just be like, dude, whatever, man. You want to, and I think Frank B, you're like, oh, they tell you to get out of the car and hop on one leg and bark like a dog. I would look at the guy and be like, that's fucking dumb. And then I'd get out of the car and I'd hop on one fucking leg and I'd bark like a fucking dog. And then I'd be like, dude, you're a fucking idiot. Now that's never going to happen. No cop's going to do that. But dude, what? No, like saying no is never going to be a good idea. Ever. And I think that's all that people are pointing out.
So, really quick, Mike Allen, just to your point, I think it clarifies it for everybody exactly what you're saying. You said you would literally get out of the car, stand on one leg, and bark like a dog. To me, what that just strikes me as, and I don't mean this as any insult, I just mean definitionally, is without being as insulting as possible, that strikes me as a cowardice move. And I don't think that you can use your cowardice to justify a moral standard. So just because you would, like, I think it was really funny, Randy in the chat said, if a cop pulls out his dick, you better suck it from the back. That's the rules. Just because you're willing to comply with pretty much anything that somebody tells you because you're scared for your life does not necessarily mean that that is a justified principle to follow or a standard that everybody else wants to follow either. Is wrong and is much better rather than having a tyrannical police force that can arbitrarily enforce their will to operate on the standards of why we have rights in the first place and what's supposed to make America what it is to begin with. So I don't think that you can use, you might be willing to do that. You might be willing to get on your knees and do whatever he says to do. And like you literally said, you'll stand on one leg and bark like a dog. Sorry, I'm not doing that.
Wow, really, bro?
But I'm just, I mean, that's what you said. I'm using your exact words.
Hold on. You can let him land, Mike. Hold on.
But the only thing I'm saying is that just because you're saying that and just because that's what you would do doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right thing to do. It doesn't justify a negative effect long term for everybody else, because if we set a standard that we're going to comply with police no matter what, under any circumstances, nothing positive ever happens. That's the whole basis. What if people just complied with slavery? Then how is it ever going to get overturned? What if there was no Civil War? Simply compliance is not always a positive way of seeing the change that you're going to want to see. So yes, to some extent, I'm not always going to go for what's most short-term and immediately going to benefit me in that moment. Sometimes I'm going to look at like, man, I wish there was more people who could make a change so that way we don't have to have our rights violated, because that's what we got them for in the first place. So that's where I'm at.
Mike, before you respond, I was reading some comments in the chat, and listen, I'm going to pray. I'm going to pray that none of us, black, white, male, female, gay, straight, trans, doesn't matter, that none of us ever during a traffic stop have to suck cock and gargle on cock cum. Because some of y'all in the chat said you would suck cock and drink cum if it meant a life or death. Please, God, don't let it come to
I'm
this.
not doing that.
I'm not doing that. We're gonna start a new movement.
And
Truth says some people have. Ain't that the truth though? The truth ain't that the truth?
Real quick response to E. Again, we were going to Frank D's, which clearly Frank D was using a very hyperbolic scenario, right? No cops asking you to stand on one leg and bark like a dog. I think I was being hyperbolic when I was going with that, but the fact of it would be the cop asking you to step out of your car and sit on the curb while he searches your car, right? If no cop's gonna ask you to step on one leg and bark like a dog. So to call me a coward is ridiculous. But if the cop asks me to step out of my car and sit on the curb, I'm gonna step out of the car and sit on the curb. I'm not gonna be like, why do I gotta step out of my car? He's like, well, this. I'm like, I'm not stepping out of my car. He's like, sir, can you step out of your car? No, I don't have to. Well, I'm gonna need you to step out of your car. No, go get your supervisor. And the supervisor gets there. Get out of your car. No, I mean, what are you doing? Just get out of your fucking car. No one's gonna ask you to hop on one leg and bark like a dog, but they're gonna ask you to get out of your car and sit on the curb, maybe. And the only people that aren't going to do that are people that are trying to hide something. That's it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, hold on. Somebody in the chat said it's just dick. You'll be all right. Y'all are so funny. That's hilarious. Okay, who was it?
Frank, real quick. I'll be only like 10 seconds.
Wait. My beautiful mod was coming off mic. Mod privilege. MG, were you trying to?
No, I mean, E is very passionate about this. I'm just trying to wrap my head around like your logic. I would comply. I'm just going to say yes.
It's a bad strategy. Right.
What do you need? Here's my license. What else you need? My registration. Like, I'm not arguing back and forth, right? And I think both things can be true. I think we can comply and still advocate for just police reform. Like, I don't know why it has to be one or the other. I think it could be both.
Exactly.
Short-term interim strategy and long-term strategy. Like
I do think that to some extent
before anybody responds, I said Frank B could go, but E, I'll let you go if you make this submission really quick.
I'll be very quick then. I do think that sometimes compliance and the reform are mutually exclusive. Mike Allen, to your point about the cowardice, I'm not referring to the cowardice of the particular event, the particular example of standing on one leg and barking like a dog. I think where the cowardice comes in is the unconditional compliance, regardless of morally justified, and the unwillingness to be able to stand up for your own rights. And MG, the only reason I'm passionate, I could just be very quick with an anecdotal example, is for example, until I became about 13, 14 years old, when I did start leaving and doing my own thing and actually did stand up for myself, that the abuse actually stopped. So from my experience, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, all in there.
I will say,
can I get back in the queue, please? Bella, can I get back in the queue, please?
Yeah, Bella, real quick.
Hold on.
The racial profile is real. Look at it from this perspective. Not all cops are bad. That's one thing. Let me get that out there straight. What I'm saying is this. If you were to take a real statistic from that side of the law, the policeman side of the law, and you looked at the individual policemen that went from how they pull people, the people that they pulled, being race, and then when you dig into some of these police officers, what they call it, their history as being a cop, you seem to notice that most of them, it gets more egregious. It's pulling over the cars. Next thing you know, it's the assault on the person they pulling out the car. Then next thing you know, somebody's getting shot. Case in point, Laquan Smith, Chicago, I think it was 2016. The kid was high as hell, no doubt about it. The police walked beside, in their car, they traveled with this kid as he was walking down the street for about a half a block. And if anybody lives in the city, you know how big a half a block of the city is. The kid, when the police officers pulled over in front of him, he walked slightly away from the cop's car. The police officer got out of his car and shot this kid 16 times and said that he feared for his life. When they went back through that police officer's jacket, they noticed The same things I'm speaking about. Those are the policemen, and these are the reforms that need to be taken heed and taken care of immediately. These are the things I'm talking about. I'm not saying every cop that pulls you over, asks you for your registration, whatever, blah, 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 is going to turn into some old freak show. But there are certain cops, and when they get to that point, they don't get penalized. I had a cop tell me in another room about 2 weeks ago. They think about this right here. They have something called pushing the line. That terminology comes from gang talk. And when we asked them, well, what do you do as a good cop, as opposed to pointing out the bad cops? Man, I have to fear for my life. Cops they have too much power. They have too much power.
Thank you, Frank.
First of all, I want to say I'm sorry that happened to you, brother. That breaks my heart. And I know you're responding to MG, but the first part when you responded to what I was saying is actually a fair point. It was a fair point. I couldn't argue with any of that, what you said, and I'm sorry that happened to you. That's fucking awful.
Thank you, Mike. Bella, go ahead, Bella.
People alive. That is what they pledged to do. They're not, like, we can't act like all police officers are out there just to, like, pull people over and beat them down, because we all know that that's not true. So can we just please keep that in mind? Because I feel like, in general, the majority, and I believe when you look at the statistics, it's at 95, and I really wish it was like 99, but 95% of the incidents reported were expunged, or like 95% of our officers are doing the right thing for the good of the community. They're trying to save those babies from getting murdered. They're trying to make sure that your kids aren't child trafficked. They're not coming after you. Like, they're just not. That's not what they're doing. It's not this, like, some of this conversation sound like they're the mafia, and they're not. In general, they are the good people who are trying to keep us all safe and happy and living about our lives in an orderly fashion. So I just wanted to ask if we could all please remember that.
I can understand where you're coming from, Rip.
Truth is next. Hold on. Truth is next. And then you got it, Eagle.
So I gave an example to what the brother was saying, that taking it outside the police car, and I don't know how many people you all seen this, but there was, I think it was on Reel, but there was a shop owner, black shop owner, who was in his shop after hours, him and an employee working on some things. Some white person called the police to say there were black people inside of a shop and the store should be closed around this time. Police showed up, knocked on the door. You could see the people inside the shop. It was a glass shop. Showed up. The shop owner came to the door, asked how could he help. The officer asked, what was he doing in there late? He says, well, we're doing some business. And he asked him, he said, do you know the owner? He said, do you know the owner? Because it's a black man. He said, yes. He said, you do? What's the owner? He said, I'm the owner. He said, oh, you're the owner? 2 white cops. And he said, yes, I'm the owner. He was like, well, can I see some ID? He was like, why? I'm inside my shop. He said, well, show us that you're the owner. Do you have the keys to the shop? So the store owner puts the keys in the shop. He's like, yes, I have the keys. He was like, well, we just need to see some ID. He said, why? I'm inside my shop. I told you I'm the owner. I have the key. Basically, it wasn't until a white man down the street at another shop happened to come out and tell the 2 white officers that, hey, that's his shop. Oh, it's his shop. Yeah, that's his shop, man. Leave him alone. The white cops immediately, and that's a profile right there. And I just wanted to give that example, that it doesn't just exist in the patrol car. It exists on the street, and we see it all the time. So we need to stop being so naive that, all these cops are here just to protect and the safety of the children. Yeah, some of them, but it's not no damn 90%. I can tell you that. And I
would ask, can I ask for receipts?
Go ahead, Bella. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like, you just claimed, you gave police report? Do you have anything to show receipts of what you just said? Or are you just trying to fuel the fire with bullshit?
Do you have receipts about your 90%?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well,
I do. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's from fucking CNN, so you can have them.
Yeah, okay, you have them. I don't give a shit.
CNN.
I have to be like, it's CNN.
Okay, I
have, hold on, sir. You're going to get your chance, and I value your submissions often, but let me deal with this. I didn't say my mom did anything. I didn't say she took
but that's what you just gave a huge story.
I didn't say my mom.
You just gave a huge story. Do you have receipts? What city? What town? Where's the police reports?
First of all, Karen, I don't have to justify shit to you. I don't have to
give you. Of course you don't. Because you want to make it up for a reason not to get out of your car and comply with the police.
Shut the hell up, because I don't have to listen to you and I don't have to prove anything. And that's the problem. White folks always want a black person to prove everywhere we go. You see what she asked, do I have a receipt? That's the very reason why when a motherfucker in the stove and I get gas and he just act like, I said, no, give me a receipt, because the white man out here gonna ask me, did I pay for my gas? Even
bullshit.
Though
you guys asked for more receipts than we ever do. So bullshit.
First of all, you damn right we asked for receipts. Do you know why?
Exactly. So I'm not allowed to ask for receipts.
Do you know why? Do you know why a black person asked for a receipt?
Do you know why anyone asked for receipts?
Tell me why do black, you said you guys ask for receipts more than anybody. Tell me why.
I don't know why you asked for anybody. Everybody has the right to a receipt. Says any accountant.
Shut up.
Hold on, Bella. You just made the claim, and I think she asked you a valid question. You said we asked for receipts more than anybody. Why? How can you think and say I don't know why?
No. I don't know why. She said we do, but whenever I asked for receipts, she said, well, you provide receipts, and I said I would be happy to, and then I asked her for receipts, and she was like, I don't owe you anything. That's how the conversation went down.
It sure did. It sure did. Yeah.
That's exactly how the conversation went down. It's like, you don't owe me anything, but I owe you everything. Why do I owe you anything?
No. Why do I owe you receipts? Because I gave a submission of an encounter that happened on a Facebook reel that we could see. It was posted from the camera.
This is the reason why. This is exactly the reason why. Because we're talking about law enforcement and we're talking about legal records. And so we're going to talk about legal records with law enforcement. The reason that we can enforce body cams, the reason that we want to believe in our police force, that I want to believe that my police force is 90%, 95% good, not out, that they're really trying to catch the sex traffickers and not trying to just pull over random black people. Sure as fuck hope that they're not doing that. But that is the reason, is because we are talking about the legal system. And so when you get into the governmental legal system, you have to have receipts. So if this happened, I would like to know the city and the state so that I can look up the police reports as to what happened.
Okay, so first of all, it wasn't no police report. What are you talking about? Who said it was a police report?
Well, it was a police encounter, but there's no report.
No report. I just told you, if you were listening with both of your white ears, that when the white man came out and told them to leave the black shop owner alone, they didn't ask him to identify himself as the white shop owner.
Do you understand why this is like hearsay?
Let me finish, because you didn't hear it. So
no, I heard it. It just still sounds like hearsay.
No, you didn't. No. Okay, so now tell me, because I'm going to get back to this, because you're not going to get out of this. Why do black people ask for receipts more so than anybody, as you stated?
Well, you said that you had the answer for that, so you tell me.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't say that. See how you're hearing what you're trying to switch words around? You're crafty, but you're not. Yeah, you're not crafty enough for me. So when you said black people ask for receipts, you guys more than anybody, I said we do. And then I asked you, do you know why?
You said we do. And I don't know why. I agree with you. I said it, you agreed, but I don't know why. okay, you clearly know why. So can you please explain to me why?
Bella, in truth, I think we should move on. I don't.
Okay.
This is
I'm not going to
of course it is. Go ahead, shield her. Shield.
Hold on, Bella. I agree we should move on, but when Bella says you guys ask for receipts more than anybody, she makes the submission as if she understands why. So I too was waiting for her to explain from her perspective, why do black people ask for receipts more than anybody? You're the one that made the claim, Bella, and then said, I don't know.
Well, no, Truth was ready to explain it to me with all respect, Nye. I mean, I know you have a green bean, but you're not like the expert on this.
Hold on. Bella, hold on. You're right. I'm not an expert, green bean or no green bean. You made the submission, and now we're asking you to explain from your perspective, because you stated it. Don't be a smartass with me, miss. You're the one that stated black people ask for receipts more than anybody, as if you understand why. If you don't understand why did you say we ask for receipts more than anybody? How would you know that?
I don't understand why you ask for receipts more than anybody, but I do know that you do ask for receipts more than anybody. So there's a difference
Why do you think that?
There's a difference there. Because I've been asked for receipts. The first thing that she asked me for was, where's the receipt?
Okay, let's move on.
Like, that is the reason why.
She can't answer the question. She just wants to be
What
arguing.
are you talking about? No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit, Nye. I'm so sorry, Truth, but shut the fuck up. Like, literally, Nye, you're just... Okay, you're right. You're so right. Every white woman is a liar. You're right. We're all out there.
It's not every white woman.
Let me ask you something.
You got a white woman in here. You got a white woman here on this panel that literally called you a racist, Bella. So you got to step down here.
I'm not giving you shit. Not at all. You're welcome to speak. I welcome your voice. But the thing about it is, you made the submission, critical thinking for this conversation, and just take a guesstimation. But you refuse to do that. And then here comes Jess talking about stand down as if Bella's under attack. She's a grown woman. We just asked her a simple question. So, white girl mob, stand down. Bella doesn't want to engage. We'll give the mic back to.
Believe me. And that's why black people have receipts. They ask for them because when we go to purchase something, if we don't get it wrong for stealing, some have had their hands lopped off for stealing because they didn't get a fucking receipt. So when you ask a black person to show your white self receipts, it's an offense, first of all. As if I'm naturally accused of doing something.
Frank B will give you the receipt.
Do not come
Bella,
after
Frank
her
B is
blue without receipt.
Bella, Frank B is telling you.
I don't understand, Bella. You seemingly have self-control. When truth lands, you can respond, Bella. Okay? So let her land.
So, thank you. I think that's New York, NY. I've given my submission. Obviously, someone who's new to Earth will not believe any of the facts of the history that has happened to people of color. And so it's no sense. They're not going to believe it because it didn't affect their lily whiteness.
Now, Bella, no one interrupt Bella. Bella, go ahead. Please, everyone keep their submissions under 2 minutes. Go.
I'll happily keep this underneath 2 minutes. It was very simple. Asked for a simple question of where this entire scenario happened, what city, so that I could look things up. She doesn't want to give any of that sort of information, and then she wants to claim that it's my fault because I'm white and that I'm asking for information to verify what she's talking about, the black shop owner versus the white shop owner with the entire police interaction. What I'm saying is, and this is the reason that I started this conversation, was we've got to believe in the fact that in general, whether you're white, black, Mexican, whatever race you are, absolutely no facts behind it. Please. That's all I'm asking.
Truth, let me ask you.
Absolutely no facts behind it. Please. That's all I'm asking.
Truth, let me ask you a question really quick before we go to this. When you shared this story, did you tell us the city, town that this incident took place in?
No, I was just relating it to what the brother had shared about it's not his submission that it's not just profiling in the streets, it's profiling other places, and I was relating it to the reels that I had seen that someone had posted about this encounter.
Now, for Bella's peace of mind, can you tell us do you recall where this incident took place so she can go look up the police?
No, I don't, but I was going to go back and see if I could search it out. But for real, I want her to have unrest. I don't ever want her to have no peace of mind.
Jesus. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So let's go to Jess, because Jess came up to the stage with smoke. Jess, do you have something to say? Imagine that.
I'm thoroughly enjoying the comments with everybody just yielding to the mic. Love you all. Yeah.
Well, I
did just want to say real quick.
Yeah, go ahead,
I was waiting. Appreciate you. I was waiting for a little bit. Bella, throughout the conversation, I'm gonna do my best to try to be on track with what we were talking about, and two, be as fair to you as possible. But I do just want to say that you have made quite a lot of comments in here. One, you made a comment that black people ask for receipts more than anybody, which then you proceeded to say that you don't understand why. You also said that Fourth Amendment rights
didn't even try to understand why.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Right.
didn't listen to that. And then you made a comment that Fourth Amendment rights only pertain to when you're on private property. That was incorrect. You made a comment that CNN is your source of statistics. So you said quite a lot of stuff, and then most recently, here's where I'm trying to be as fair to you as possible. You're saying that 90% of officers that they have good intentions. Okay, let's say that you're right. There's two demographics of people that I've experienced in my life who are some of the most traumatized demographics that I've seen. One is gangbangers and two is police officers. Why? Because both of them are constantly in life-threatening situations. So from looking at it from a police perspective, in all reality, when we have nurses, these people are required to go through medical school, 4 to 6 years of schooling in order to be able to operate, because they have people's lives in their hand. When you have any different profession where somebody's lives are in your hand, you usually are required to have an incredible level of competence. This is not the case with police officers. They don't have the psychological training. So even if what you are saying was true and that they had good intention, the reality is, yes, police see a lot of crazy shit and these people are traumatized as fuck. And so what do you think happens? You don't think that they're potentially going to be profiling people? You don't think that if a police has gotten shot at or has some type of crazy experience with a black person, you don't think he's potentially likely then to go and profile the rest of black people? I don't see how anything that you have said in this conversation, one, it's been primarily ad hominem. You haven't really made any actual arguments to anybody. You've just been insulting to everybody. You said fuck you to a bunch of people. It's really in some sense been kind of childish, but and I'm not even trying to be insulting. I'm just trying to keep it real with you. But at the same time, it doesn't seem like you're logically evaluating what you're actually positive intent. No, you can't make that assumption that these people have positive intent. You're not in their psychology, and we've had too many examples of where that's not the case. And in order for you to even be able to make that assessment, so what are you really basing it off of?
I can get in right quick. It won't take but a second to add on to what he just said to Ms. Bell. I just pulled it up. It happened August 25th. August 25th, 2020. Store proprietor Yema Khalif, his wife, and business partner at 1:00 a.m. This is the story the lady was telling you about. That's your receipt. And you said not something of 20 years ago? Well, there's a bridge between 20 years ago and now. Lumberton, North Carolina, they had to shut down a whole police station because they were involved in drug trafficking, prostitution, along with profiling and racism, and the police officers, majority of them were soldiers of white supremacy.
Frank B, did you land, Frank B? Because I want to make sure you land. Or are you still speaking? Oh, you landed? Okay, thank you, sir. Hold on, Mike Allen. Bella, did you hear the receipt?
I did. I'm really confused about the last one. What police? what police station was shut down for being white supremacists in 2020?
No. The height of it became, and y'all remember when Michael Jordan's father was killed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody remember that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
they went into a further investigation of the police station because he got killed right down the street on Highway 95 from that police station. I'm just trying to, when she spoke about, she don't want to hear something about 20 years ago. I'm just saying there's a bridge between that past and this present, because when they went into further investigation of that Lumberton police department, they were drug trafficking. They had set up prostitution. What's the name? Right down the street or right across from the department. And many of the so-called police officers were soldiers of white supremacy. And then I later went back to what the lady was talking about, the business owner at 1 o'clock in the morning. CBS News, I put it up on Google. And it's true. Those are receipts. All you got to do is look up black store owner, question why police, and it will come up.
And I put it in the chat, and there was a settlement made by the city to the business owner. So there are your receipts.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Let me just say this, and I'm upset for real. Miss Bella, the term "let us see the receipts," believe it or not, that term was basically brought about for us to hold each other accountable for the shit we say, meaning us black folks. So sometimes when you speaking on stuff, understand where it comes.
And the original term was because you had to have your receipt in a store, or you would be accused of stealing an item.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for the history lesson. I greatly appreciate it.
She just blew us off.
Yeah, you know.
I mean,
people reveal themselves with what they say
without
revealing themselves.
That's totally.
Bella says, "With love, we see you, sis. Wink, wink. We see you."
Totally fine.
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Yes, you hated me before I even started speaking, so it doesn't even matter.
Girl, why would I hate you? Wait. There she goes, victimizing herself. Wait, why, Bella? I don't know you. Why would I hate you? Mike, go on mute, please. Tell the stage why would I hate you, and I don't know you. I think I've been nothing
because
but
I'm asking
respectful and kind to you on this
I'm
stage
asking
tonight.
legitimate questions and supporting the police department. I'm already hated.
And I've said many times on this stage tonight that we should listen to the police because I do have respect for the police. So I want you to explain to me, since you just made this very ridiculous submission, why I hate you. We're going to center you since you want to be centered. Why do I hate you?
You hate me because I'm a white woman.
I'm a white woman. I'm on here.
Why? You probably
Girl, pause. Everybody go on pause. Because this trick doesn't know me from a bag of dicks. She doesn't know my past, doesn't know my friendships. She doesn't know who I rock with. She doesn't know who I've made love to, who I've had dinner with.
Nor do I care.
And you actually think, that's because, you know what? Now I'm about to turn into a glass of whiskey and a pack of Newports. You don't care because you're very racist to your core and anti-black.
Oh, there it is.
Yourself.
Yes.
But you've already revealed this about yourself, Bella.
Yes.
You've already revealed this about yourself.
Please tell me, how am I racist? Tell me how am I racist? How am I racist? Please, I want you to school me right now. I want you to tell me how I am racist.
No, cunt. You're going to tell me why I hate you. That's what we're going to do first. Okay? That's what we're going to do first.
That I'm a racist. I want to know why I'm a racist. Please,
you're going to answer my question first.
I already told you. Why do I hate me because I'm a white woman?
I don't hate white
because I'm a white.
Well, I don't hate white people. First of all.
Clearly do. And definitely truth does. So, like, most black people hate white people. Most white people don't give a shit.
I just moved that dizzy ass broad to the audience. We're not doing that today.
We're not doing that.
One mic on the mod. One mic black. I wasn't going to go there. That's why I said, wink, sis, I see you. I think a lot of us see you. I've shown this woman nothing but grace and respect. As a matter of fact, I agreed with her comments about police. Okay? Hate her because she's white? I don't hate white people. I was about to say something, but that's too personal. Anyway, she's got to go. Anybody else on the stage feels like white women, state your piece so I can put you in the hallway with the rest of the peasants so you can go scroll and find a white supremacist room and y'all can go cry about black people.
Piece of work. I love being in your room.
The hoe is probably drunk. She's probably drunk.
I was literally thinking that. I was literally thinking she sounded like she'd been drinking.
And she sounds like the type of bitch that gargles on black dicks. So we're just gonna move on. Mike, let's pass the mic to the next person. Who would like to speak? We have Mike. I know, Mike, you were trying to speak earlier. You're back. Not Mike Allen, Mike with the MYKE. Go ahead, Mike. If you want.
Yeah, he been saying good stuff.
All right, man. I just want to salute to the title, man. Salute the room. I've been here for a while listening. I want to just start saying, just to the title, is racial profiling real? Hell yeah, on Crip. Like, I be banging. Like, a nigga said earlier some shit about gang banging, which I don't really necessarily think is true. But just on some real shit, like a nigga could be posted on the block, you feel me, sagging, and a nigga get pulled over, cops start frisking them, all types of shit. Like, you got white folks, you feel me, you in the grocery store minding your business, they following you. So, I mean, to act like racial profiling don't exist, that's crazy on Crip. Like, that's really all I gotta say.
Bella, don't take shots in the chat. You're welcome to come up. You're welcome to come back up and speak your piece. But when you come back up, you're gonna have to explain to me. Hold on, Mike. Why I hate white women. That's what I'm saying. You're so delusional. You have no original thought that you resort to being a whiny Karen. You resort to being. I'm surprised you didn't start crying on the stage. To be honest with you. Elsie, Ellese. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But you got the mic. Go ahead. I want to just get some new voices on the stage.
I'm gonna go with Elise there.
Elise, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Chicago. Elise, come up.
What part of Chicago?
She's part of Chicago. She's a CPS teacher. Elise, are you there?
Wait, hold on. Miss Bella's coming back. Let's show some grace to Miss Bella. Let's see if she Let's see. I agree, Jess. I agree. I'm just gonna give her. I'm just gonna give her a second.
I don't want to give her, so.
Well, because here's what will happen.
Fine.
Just no, Jess. I'm with you, sis. I'm with you, sis. Hold on. Just stand down for a minute.
Okay.
Stand down, Queen Jess. Hold on. Bella will. Hold on. Somebody just sent me something about Bella in the back end.
Oh, of course they did.
Are you friends with somebody on this app named Pepe? Are you one of Pepe's lapdogs?
No. Fuck Pepe.
Okay.
But I also have the bunny right to my house. No, I'm sorry. I have to get the bunny out of my house. So I gotta go.
Okay, she's got bunnies in her house. Lord, today. Go ahead, Mike.
So to throw the Bella thing to bed here, I mean, she was asking for proof of the story. I think it got convoluted with receipts of paper, and when Bella's asking for receipts of the story, did it come off weird? Yeah, I think that Bella didn't help herself here, but I think it was all kind of harmless here. Now, Jess, I want to say something to you, Jess. I've heard you say it twice, and it kind of harkens back to what Truth was saying. In Truth's scenario, Truth said there was Black Americans that owned the shop, and no one believed them until a white guy came over and told the cops, and they believed the white guy. And the very first thing you said when you got in here, Jess, you said to Bella, you go, Bella, you are racist. A white woman, and I'm saying it. And then I heard you say it again. You go, as a white woman. So I think that a lot of y'all need to be wary of people like, I think Jess is the most harmful people to the Black community, people like Jess, because basically what Jess did inadvertently was basically saying, guys, I'm the white woman, so everyone else racist. And it kind of came off kind of weird here. And I didn't really understand that whole part of it. But we'll move on from all of it. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think that what we're missing in this whole conversation is Bella's initial
cap.
So if someone's breaking into your home, you wouldn't call 911?
No, I'm calling the Crips.
You're calling the Crips?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, well, actually, that's actually serendipitous of you here, because I wanted to ask you a question, Earlier you mentioned.
Yes, sir.
Earlier you mentioned about, and these are your words, so don't hold me to this. You said the most traumatized people, and I agree with you. The most traumatized people are gangbangers and cops. I think is what you said.
Bro, stop speaking on gangbangers, bro. That shit not true, bro. Y'all steady speaking on gangbangers like y'all.
Bro, he said this, dude.
Right, I'm just saying, you saying gangbangers and cops like you a gangbanger, bro. I'm a real life crit, nigga. You speaking on us. Stop speaking on us like that, bro. Real talk.
You don't
So,
know.
Bro, whatever, Mike, I would put you through a fucking.
I mean, y'all steady.
So,
Hold on, let's go one mic on Mike. Hold on, gentlemen. One mic on Mike Allen. Let him land, and then you guys can respond. Let's let Mike Allen land. Go.
So anyway, so and again, I don't want to misquote you here. I think, and I agree with you. The most traumatized people are You use the word, not me. Gangbangers and cops. I'm not misquoting you, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you use that word. So now I just want to ask you a hypothetical situation. Let's say, because this is going to harken back to the whole ID thing. Let's say you're walking down the street, and again, these are your words. Let's say you're walking down the street, and two gangbangers walk up to you. Now, I don't know your name, and I don't want you to give anybody your name, but you have an E right there, so let's just say your name's Eric. And two gangbangers walk up to you, they're like, hey, man, I know who you the fuck are. You're that fucking dude, Kyle. You're fucking Kyle, bro. You fucking did something to a friend of mine. I'm going to fucking kill you, bro, Kyle. And you're like, bro, I'm not Kyle. And they're like, yeah, you are. You're fucking Kyle, bro. Prove you're not Kyle. Let me see your ID. Would you give an ID to the gangbangers to prove you're not Kyle?
So before I answer that, I do kind of want to understand what exactly, because obviously a gangbanger and a cop are two completely different sides of the coin. And I don't think that somebody's going to walk up to me. I don't know. I just don't feel like you're giving
do you believe the gangbangers are violating your rights by asking you to prove you're not the guy Kyle?
I think that the streets is very different from a situation when you're encountering police, because first of all, if I'm in the streets and I'm in some shit like that, I know what comes with the territory of it. So, like, if I'm getting pressed about something like that, then I don't have a right to then ask to request protocol. We don't have a constitution for the streets. We have so these are. I just don't feel like this is I think it's a false equivalency in terms of what you're comparing it to. We have holds any water. But I mean, I kind of want to understand where you're going with it. But
like, you're walking down the street and the cop walks up to you like, hey, you fit the description of a suspect that's named Josh. And you're like, yeah, I'm not Josh, dude. And the cop's like, well, let me see your ID so I know you're not Josh. You'd be like, well, fuck you, cop. I'm not. Ganger's like, well, let me see your ID. I bet you pull out your ID and you show the gangbanger. You're like, dude, I'm not Kyle, bro. Here.
Well, a gangbanger would never ask you for an ID. That's correct. Just, so just I don't.
That's a non-answer.
I get what you're saying. It's not a non-answer. I feel like it's a false. I'm pass it right back to you.
In your defense, it's a trap question.
I feel like it's a false.
I'm being a dick. It's a trap question.
Well, I feel like it's a false equivalency in that sense, because obviously I'm going to deal with a situation in the streets very different than I deal with a situation with the police officer. And Mike, just out of respect to you, brother, I just wanted to clarify something that I said when I said that gangbangers and police officers are the most traumatized people. What I'm really saying is that people who are caught up or people who are in gangs, at the end of the day, they see a lot more shit than the average person is ever going to see. They got people, you say you're crip, you know what I mean? No hate on you. People who are in that type of lifestyle, they're going to see shit that other people haven't seen. You got ops very likely if you're involved in shit like that.
Fair,
so
yeah,
obviously that shit is going to change the way you look at shit. If you go to certain places, I imagine when you go out to a bar or a club or something, you're looking out for shit that the average person ain't necessarily looking out for. You're looking out to see that if somebody, is somebody's looking for you or somebody's hunting you or some type of thing. So when I say that gangbangers and cops are the most traumatized demographics, I'm not saying it as an insult at all. I'm saying that they go through the most life-threatening situations on a regular basis. So I just wanted to respect you on that.
That's very easy.
Okay, hold on. One mic. Please, one mic.
Probably.
That was a solid answer,
See,
brother.
hold on. See, whoever moved her, thank you, because I don't understand what's going on. Or maybe she moved herself.
people come up loud on mic and loud and proud and wrong on the mic, and we can't hear. We don't know what's going on. It's 12:03 my time. It might be time for some of y'all to take your meds, just in case you're not looking at the clock. Go ahead, MYKE. Mike.
All right, I just want to say I appreciate that brother clarifying, man, because you feel me? It's always a bad look or a bad representation on gangbangers, man. That shit not always true. And like y'all said earlier, if a nigga had to call the police, or if who I was gonna call, I'm gonna call the Crips, because at the end of the day, I know they gonna have my back regardless. Why would I call the police? And they gonna fuck around and arrest me. They gonna start harassing me. That shit dumb. I'm gonna call the Crips. We got guns. We got everything we need.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, for those in the room that aren't Crips,
that's why we have police.
I really want to move on from this
Brother,
gang
you
talk.
were Karen on my mama.
I want to move on from the gang talk, okay? Because I don't want no smoke with the Crips, the Bloods, the BLM. I don't. I've already been cursed out twice by Crip on this day.
Why?
We're not doing it tonight. Okay? We're not doing it tonight. I'm done fighting with thugs. Okay?
But we not
so we're done with the gang. Leave the gang members alone. Y'all better go hire a gang member for protection. Point blank period. Now, Bella, did you get the rabbits out the house?
I did.
Okay. You
I had to chase her. No, I totally had to chase her out of the house. It was totally. She's the Benny. Yeah, she's a pain in my ass.
Those fuckers shit everywhere.
They do, and she lives outside, so she's fine. But like, I'll open up my back door and she'll sneak in, and then I have to chase her out of the house, which is what was going on.
Mike, I'm not scared of Crips. I'll put you through a fucking wall.
You scared, nigga. Drop your location then, nigga. I'll pull up on you, nigga. I'll drop my location.
Hold on. We're not going to do this.
No, but space opportunity.
Then tell Mike.
Y'all can't be
here.
Where are you fucking from the fucking
nigga, drop your location, nigga. I'll slap the shit out of you, nigga. I'll drop my location.
Here we go. I keep telling y'all.
But you better stop playing with.
I'll put you through a fucking wall.
I'm not no motherfucker.
Okay. All right.
I need a gang to fucking back me up, bro. I got nobody.
Okay. I don't know who moved Mike. It wasn't me, but I really need y'all to be peaceful. We're not going to do this. Both mics have been moved. Okay, for the record, because we have to keep peace. Thank you, KP. Mike Allen, you know I'm
moderator speaking.
Yeah, thank you, KP. No, thank you. Mike Allen, you know, as JB would say, I love you like a fat kid loves cake, but we have to keep the peace on the stage. Okay? And now you see what happens. I was trying to build with Bella, and she's gone too. You see what happens, ladies and gentlemen? When y'all want to fight, take this shit to the back channel.
It's like, go take that shit into a private room. You guys go hash it out there. When you have a moderator speaking, respect the room. That's all we asking. What's up, MG? Long time no hear from. If you're still there.
I am. This app is glitching really bad. Hey, KP. Nice to see you.
Cool. What's up? Nice to hear from you. It's been years.
I do just gotta say that, okay, if somebody comes up here and they say they're a Crip immediately, I do expect, a certain behavior. But from the other Mike, who gave me like a very long lecture about law-abiding citizenship, to then say that I'm gonna put you through a wall and everything, it just wasn't exactly what I expected. It feels like it kind of contradicted a lot of
Did you not see what you wrote in the chat? Did you not see what you wrote in the chat?
But you're a law-abiding citizen, right? Aren't you? You present your ID. You stand on one foot.
Do I have the right to defend myself?
Do you have the right to defend yourself against police? I just think it goes against the narrative of what you were saying prior. And then it's like, damn, it was like, fuck all that shit I just said a moment ago.
Are you serious?
This mic-on-mic violence has got to stop.
Bro, the dude wrote in the chat that I'm fucking terrified of Crips and I'm gonna get what's coming to me. Bro, I'm not scared of any fucking gang members. If that dude's gonna go call the Crips and be like, hey Crips, there's this guy on the internet that we need to go handle because he talked shit about me. Go ahead, bro. Fucking bring as many as you want. I'm not scared of any fucking gang members.
Wait, hold
zero.
on.
I'm scared of zero gang members.
Listen, this is wait. Listen, let's not do threats of violence because this house is not my house, and there are a lot of people behind the scenes who work years to build up healthy debates. I mean, Mike, you have every right to stand on business and defend yourself, but I don't want to put healthy debates in the crossfire of being clipped.
Fair enough. Okay? I apologize, and I will say this.
This is why I get those.
Fair enough. I just want to say this real. Mike with a Y, I would expect him to give me the same amount of animosity if I were to come at him like that, because that's what men do. So I wouldn't expect anything less from the other Mike as he's going to get from me. So that's all.
If I can't speak, if it's not a problem,
the mic is yours. Frank.
Back to my man E. I kind of disagree with what you said for this little bit right here when you said, what is it, police and gangbangers are most traumatized. I believe a male like myself, who I consider myself an L7. I'm 50 years old.
Wait, Frankie, I don't mean to interrupt you. Hold on. I'm going to give it right back. You don't even have to mute up. Let me just address Mike Y in the chat. He says, so why is White Mike on stage when he started it, but Kid Mike down? Mike with a Y, I have no problem with you coming back up, but I'm not doing this with y'all going back and forth and arguing. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing the violence. If you want to come back up and submit to the conversation, cool. But I'm not letting y'all back up to argue and fight and threaten each other on the stage. So the people are calling for you to come back up. I'm going to bring you back up. But the minute y'all start arguing again, you're going back down. So if you want to come up, raise your hand. Go.
Nah, I just wanted to say, I'm 50 years old. Been married for over 25 years, but when I was living in Chicago, which is very gang orientated, I used to run with a certain clan, and so when my man Mike had spoke on that, I don't know, I was out west for a particular time, me and some homies, and the way we were confronted about were we from the area, from the neighborhood, that question gets asked a little bit different than how it's being explained up here. And the reason why I say I'm the most traumatized being an L7 married man, God bless, I found my wife, is because when I come out my door, and this is no disrespect to my man Mike, because I'm not saying his character is built like that, but I know, because I live in North Carolina now, a lot of young kids gangbanging, they claim something. But when I come out my door, I got to worry about their attitudes, because they flagging whatever they flagging on. I got to worry about the simple-minded police officer. And then on top of that, I got to worry about these scary ass, because my wife has been through 2 incidents that she's told me about. These scary ass white boys come riding through screaming nigga. I believe I'm the most traumatized when it comes to the situation. And I ain't saying, oh, woe is me. But when you out here, it's just a fucked up situation. I'm gonna be quiet. I feel like I'm the most traumatized.
Nah, I'm not discounting that. The only thing I'm saying is, like, especially in Chicago, I know Chicago has like some of the highest crime anywhere you're gonna find. So, there's all types of innocent people who get caught in the crossfire. I'm not discounting your experience at all. The only thing I'm saying when I say that gangbangers get it pretty bad is because, if you are in that lifestyle, man, there's a difference between being caught in the crossfire and being actively targeted by it. So all I'm saying is that they see stuff at a disproportionate rate, than an average human being is going to see, and it's going to cause.
You had to deal with Vicky Lou's. It was so much shit back in our day. You had to deal with all this shit. We was inner fighting. It was crazy as hell. So I get Frankie B.
Okay, so hold on.
I ain't got nobody call me Frankie in a minute.
So wait, we're gonna go to let Mike speak, and then I see Elmo's on the stage, so we're gonna let Elmo go too. So go ahead, Mike.
All right, I just want to say, like, it really bothers me about how people really view gang members and Crips and shit. Like, me personally, I have a whole college education. Like, I graduated from college and everything, bro. The streets honestly saved me, bro. Like, so to hear people always just having a negative image, a negative opinion on gangbangers and and they just be so scared of gangbangers, bro. That shit crazy. Like, cause to be honest, if it wasn't for the Crips, I would probably be dead right now. I would probably be in jail. I don't know where I would be, bro. The white people ain't give a shit about me. The police ain't give a shit about me. The Crips took me in. So at the end of the day, I'm not tolerating no disrespect from nobody, bro. You ain't gonna disrespect no gangbangers. You're not gonna disrespect the Crips. Cause at the end of the day, y'all don't know them. Y'all honestly scared of them. But as y'all get to know them people for real, instead of judging them niggas, y'all see it differently on Crip. That's it.
Thank you, Mike. That's why I say, listen, I've been on this app long enough to hear so-called members, and I say so-called because I don't know these people personally. I don't know if they're really gangbangers or not. If they proclaim to be, I believe them. And I've heard enough of them crash out, pull up, and in one instance, somebody got shot. So I want no smoke with the gang members. Okay? That's why, we have a brother on the app who is an alleged Crip, and he offers $300 package for protection. You got clubhouse beef, pay him $300, he will handle it. And I've got him on speed dial in case I have any problems. Thank you to the gang members for offering their services to protect ninjas. Go ahead.
On with my woman, I can't talk.
Okay, no problem. Guys, go ahead, KP. Yeah.
No, I was just saying, hey, say hello, I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's popcorn style. We're going to keep the room open for maybe another 15 minutes or so. Go ahead, Truth.
When I came up, and I'm from the south side of Chicago.
I'm from Chicago. We got a lot of Chicago people in here today. I'm from Chicago.
I'm Chicago too. Together.
Right on.
Chicago. Yeah, go from that.
Right on.
In a banger and someone who is a member of a gang, they're totally different things. So when we talk about someone who's a banger hit, quote unquote banging, that's different than I know. There was in my old neighborhood, and I stayed off 75th and Emerald. My dad did. That is Gangsta Disciple territory at one point. And there was one of the leaders there who was highly educated, a very smart man that you would not know that he was the leader of this particular gang. Because the bangers do acts. So I think that there's a gross difference between the two. And I think if you've never experienced that.
Really no cultural knowledge whatsoever. And it's just making comments about a myriad of different subjects without actually not even caring to try to understand or to listen, just assuming that because the perspective differs from her morals or differs from her lived experience, that must be ignorant. And I think that's why it came off so offensive. And quite honestly, it did come off racist.
And that's why I'm disappointed that the men started going back and forth about gangs, because y'all let Bella quietly weasel off the stage before she got this